Hari Om, I'm Bhavana Bhatt and today I'm going to tell you the story of King Satya Harishchandra. King Satya Harishchandra of Ayodhya was a popular and impartial king. He is believed to be a descendant of Rama since he ruled the same kingdom of Ayodhya. He was blessed with a pious wife named Taramati and a loving son called Rohitashva. He only followed the path of Dharma and nothing could stop him from speaking the truth. One day, discussion sparked among the gods and sages on who was the most honest and faithful to his dharma. Sage Vashishta, the guru of the Suryavamshis, said that no one could beat Harishchandra in this regard. This statement upset all the gods and even the sages. On how could a mere human being be better than the gods? And even Vishwamitra, who was enraged by this, challenged Vashishta that he would prove him wrong. But Vashishta, with lots of confidence, said that he could never make Harishchandra lie. They bet to give up their positions as teachers and live like a common human being. And Vishwamitra also agreed to give half of his yogic divine powers to Harishchandra if he failed. Harishchandra was to be tested. Vishwamitra created a wild boar in Harishchandra's kingdom that destroyed all the crops of common villages. Harishchandra went ahead to hunt the boar and set out into the forest. In the forest, he unknowingly, in the search of the wild boar, entered Vishwamitra's ashram, where he was welcomed by two beautiful women who entertained him and made him relaxed. In turn, they demanded to marry him, but Harishchandra denied, as he was already married and it would become an act of adharma if he married again. By then, Vishwamitra arrived and thundered, "O king, you entered my ashram without my permission, and now you're insulting my daughters by denying their wish." But Harishchandra did not agree. Finally, Vishwamitra demanded Harishchandra's kingdom. Without a moment's hesitation, Harishchandra agreed. Next, Vishwamitra also demanded Dakshina with as much as gold as a man standing on an elephant and tossing a coin. Harishchandra agreed to it too. But now, since he had lost his kingdom, he did not have any money in hand. So he asked Vishwamitra to give him the time of 1 month to pay this debt. He decided to travel to Kashi along with his family as he thought it was a prosperous city and thought he could earn it there. Vishwamitra, surprised by seeing Taramati's continuous support for her husband's decision, Vishwamitra sent along one of his disciples, Nakshatraka, along with them to take the money from them in place of him. But due to Nakshatraka's continuous troubles and his family getting tired due to the travel, they could reach Kashi only by the end of the 1 month that he had requested. Now, the only way to repay this money was by selling himself as well as his family. This decision of Harishchandra shows that he was ready to give up anything to keep up the truth and value his promise. And now, an old man bought his wife Taramati as a lifelong servant for his ill wife. Taramati begged the old man to also buy her son, as she would impart from him otherwise. Finally, he agreed upon one condition. Lohitashva had to help in domestic chores and also had to earn his own meals every day. Finally, Harishchandra became a lifelong servant for Veerababu, who owned Manikarnika Ghat at Kashi. Harishchandra became the caretaker of that ghat and had to be available day and night as death did not have time. He was also asked not to do the cremation without the fee, for free. Taramati, on the other hand, worked really hard to get all the work done and yet was scolded by the old man who found fault in her work. Rohitashva too worked all day to fulfill all the work and yet wasn't given enough food, and his body was weakening day by day. Finally, one day on the day of Shraddha, in the old man's house, the old man asked Rohitashva to collect firewood from the forest. While he was doing so, he was bitten by a snake and died. The old man did not allow Taramati to go and see her son. Finally, after she cried and cried and cried for a long time, he allowed her on one condition. to promise that she would come back in time for the Shraddha. Taramati, after promising, went to see her son's dead body in the forest and cried till her tears ran dry. Taramati remembered the promise and carried her son's body to Manikarnika Ghat for cremation. Harishchandra refused to burn his own son's body without the fee, as per the orders of Veerababu, as he could never say the untruth and had to follow the orders. Taramati finally left the body there and said she would return with the money from her master. On her way home, she saw the dead body of the Prince of Kashi, who looked alike to her son. And was At that time, the police arrested her, accusing her to have killed the Prince of Kashi. Taramati was sent to the king and was ordered execution at Manikarnika Ghat. Harishchandra had to execute his own wife. By then, when he was about to kill his own wife, lot of flower petals rained from the sky, and both the boys were alive and perfectly well again. Vishwamitra, along with all the gods, appeared and apologized to Harishchandra for all the troubles that he had caused. He also returned Harishchandra's kingdom back to him, as well as the share of half of his punya in return. Harishchandra in this story never gave up the truth and dharma, and he was rewarded with such greatness in his life. Though he faced so many challenges, he never gave up truth and lied. He could have escaped by lying to Vishwamitra or Veerababu at any moment, but he never did so. He upheld his words, though its consequences were terrible. We must all follow the path of dharma and speak the truth and only the truth, like Harishchandra. He was given the name Satya Harishchandra from then on. And I would like to conclude by quoting the meaning of this verse, which says that the importance of truth here Krishna has said that Satya is the supreme truth and goodness, and the final step of all spiritual practices and sacrifices ultimately reaches in speaking the truth and only the truth. Pleasing God in order to attain unity with Him and Him is by only speaking the truth. Krishna is also saying that since He Himself is the supreme truth, we must all speak the truth to reach Lord. Satyameva Jayate, which is our nation's motto, also says that truth always wins. So we must all too in our life practice speaking the truth and only the truth in order to reach Lord. Thank you. Hari Om.
Very nicely you explained the story. Thank you so much. Excellent preparation.